It's September 3rd today, and although we're on our way to fall, the food forest is still pumping out a lot of food. I'm gonna go through, show you how everything's doing. Let's go. Look at those grapes. Look how much they're growing right now. So a lot of the stuff in the food forest has finished fruiting or is just finished fruiting, so it's really starting to put on heavy growth. Grapes are just insane though. I'm gonna have to prune them. There's just too many of them. And look at these catawbas. Oh, the birds have gotten to a good amount of them. You can see they're coming through, pecking, but a lot of them still look good, and they're so delicious. Nice and ripe. This set, I'll come take this set today. Put them in the fridge because they last a good amount of time in the fridge. Take a couple more sets. Like those ones. Maybe some of those back there. Then I'll let a couple of the other ones finish. Like this one could finish here. Some of these. And the raspberries are just loaded right now. This is just their time. I prune these ones so we get a heavy fall crop. Focus on that because it's a higher quality than if you get the summer and the fall. I'll have to make a video on raspberries on how to prune them because there's a number of different kinds of raspberries and different ways to prune them is important, but I've been eating these every morning. So good. And some hazelnuts still dropping every day. Come out. There's like 3 or 4 everywhere I look, you know, just every day it's dropping. When this thing really gets big, I can't even imagine how much it would produce, and what an incredible nut. You can make bread out of it. You can make hazelnut butter out of it. There's just so many things you could do with it. And that grapevine along the fence, really putting on a lot of growth. Zinnia is still doing well, drawing in a lot of different birds and bees, and even on a day like today where it's like just about to rain and there shouldn't be that many bees out, still got some bees working. They love it. And this section back here has just gotten so dense, you could just come through under here. It's funny. It's like it's a own little hideout or something. But if you do get in here, you're gonna find some good snacks. You got these tomatoes are just so good. I'm not sure what variety because they came up on their own, but man, they're good. When they get this like this dark red, so sweet. And then the lemon boys, I've showed you those guys a bunch of times. Come out through the other side and you're over at the echinaceas, which are such an amazing flower. I will always grow echinaceas forever in the future. And the cosmos, they just last so long into the fall and winter. So we have flowers just extended forever. Once the growing season starts, once we get going. So this one I've showed a few times. It's like the only one I see when I come over here, but this one's getting big. Definitely a larger, different variety hazelnut, a lot longer. Zucchini are really just coming through now. I'm gonna have to pick a lot of zucchini today. I'm gonna be making zucchini parm and zucchini parm lasagna, which will be delicious. This one's got a number of them, 2 of them. Just, I talked about it in previous videos, I'm growing these under these trees here. Spots people would never think about growing things. We're getting that good production. Tomatoes still going. They don't want to quit. And next round of cucumbers planted along here. See if we can get a good harvest before the winter comes. Should have some time to get a few. Then I also transplanted out. I'll have a video coming how I transplant this stuff. Transplanted out kale and lettuces and stuff all through here. Gave them a good amount of space. One there, one there, one there. And then I'll keep going that way, take out some of that stuff because it's finishing. Keep working that way, get some more kale and stuff in. And I'll keep planting kale till I get back to this kale. Let that go and move some of this stuff, plant more kale. Transition slowly into winter or into fall crops. And a lot more zucchini back there. Heavy production, just looking so good. Look at the beauty on that. Oh, I talked about those. You can watch week from week as I planted those if you want to see. Like I did nothing special in a sense, but The spacing I got perfect, and the growth looks really good. And the amount of light, because I'm under a tree. This is to the left of me here. This is a huge mulberry tree. So I'm right underneath that. Extends all the way up to here. So I'm growing those zucchinis in the mulberry tree. This is south. And look, I got a lot of weeds growing in there. I want to make a video about that. I need to talk about that, but there's a reason I got all those weeds in there growing. And cucumbers, still doing great. It looks like a cucumber fell back there. And this honey bunch grape, it just keeps going and going. I tried to prune the tip to keep it from going along and kind of just focus on more production. It looks like it's doing well now. And a lot of these ground cherries here are finished. They're delicious. Really good. When they finish, they're easy to tell. They're just on the ground. That's what I guess they call them, ground cherries. Well, they sprawl on the ground too, but they're good. I like when this one a little more yellow than this. They get a little more darker yellow, but they're still good like this. A lot of the trees have just gotten huge this year. Especially a lot of the stone fruits like the peaches and stuff. Just put on so much growth. You can see how much I have the center open there to allow airflow and stuff. And some raspberries underneath. Raspberries are so good, and they're just going to continue producing for us until a frost. They'll just keep going. The bees are working on the next round of them as I'm eating a lot of them. Such a good time of year to eat them because it's nice and cool. There it is today, and it's been, especially in the mornings. So I love just eating them when it almost tastes like they're right out of the fridge. And you can just see how many we've got here. Next year I'm gonna have to do a little better of a job of trellising them up a little bit. This way they're not laying on the ground. But the ones that are laying on the ground are usually the best bit and the biggest ones. So let me try to grab one. Oh yeah, so good. There's so many that are ready. Oh yeah, so good. Now that the rains have really come through and it's getting wetter and cooler, I've said previous that the strawberries would all come back, and now they're all coming back. A lot of strawberries in here again. If you go back a couple weeks, it almost looked like they all died and they were all gone, but they're all just come through. Coming through with some weeds. I'll come through and I'll weed some of the others, and the strawberries will just start throwing the runners, and they'll fill this whole space like they're doing there already. They'll fill it all right up again. And they'll be young plants, so they'll produce a lot of good fruit. And those are all strawberries under there. I got some shade. Still getting Concords, even though we harvested most of them. Still left some, but I still like to come out here, and I like to leave ones on. Even though the birds get a lot of them now, I just like to leave ones on so I can come out and have a couple fresh ones. Because nothing's better than right off the vine. Here's a couple ones that still look good. Peak ripeness, look at that. Wow. Those are good. And the apples from seed are starting to ripen a little bit. Up here. Getting close, but not there yet. Got some raspberry on my finger. And more raspberries all under here. Looking beautiful. And the almond tree behind me. Still doing well, putting on a good amount of growth. It'd be nice to have two kinds of nuts. If I could have almonds and hazelnuts, I think that'd be awesome. So it's doing real well. And those asparagus are just going to put on so much asparagus next year underneath that peach tree, which is one of the biggest, healthiest trees in the whole forest, the whole food forest. Got a good amount of peaches off that one this year. And there's just so much growth down there. We've got some new shoots coming up. Some new young asparagus. And we got something over here, looks like pokeweed. I'll have to pull that. But we've got some new young asparagus shoots. Let's taste this guy. So asparagus in September. It's small, but even if it doesn't taste that great, that I'm not affecting that root too much. That asparagus plant, it's huge. Actually good. Good flavor. Not as good as in the spring, but tell you what, it's a flavor I've missed since they stopped producing in like summer. And blackberries, just the growth now is like I said earlier, it's just really coming on heavy. Everything's just growing. So I'm gonna have to come through and do a lot of pruning and do a lot of harvesting of the zucchinis and stuff, because there are a lot that are ready to go. Look at the zucchini patch back here, recently planted. The production, the growth, the use of space, I think it's good here. I don't like to pat myself on the back or anything, because all I did was plant the seed, but I think it looks really good. And some of the production here, the size of those zucchinis. Who would have thought? I'm planted underneath a pear tree. Back corner, goji's in the back, cucumbers on the right, green beans on the left, tomato underneath me, and that kind of production with zucchinis. And look at that right next to it. Monster. I bet there's more in the back there. I just got to come through and move all the leaves around, and next round of them coming through. So, gonna have to make some zucchini parm. And all the cucumbers in the back are producing too. This watermelon wants to try to produce late. I just feel bad getting rid of it or anything. And those tomatoes here are doing well. Look at these orange ones. Beautiful. Chef Chief's orange. That color, so vibrant, especially against all the green. Ooh, I think that looks beautiful. And small eggplants producing here. We've got bigger eggplants in the front. I'm gonna have to show you. More Chef Chief's orange back here. Tomatoes doing well. I guess that's a variety that does a little better later into the fall. Unless it's just coincidence, but I doubt it. Looks really nice. And more of these hot peppers that are ripe and ready. Have to make some kind of salsa. Be delicious. And the goji berries in the back aren't finished yet. I know they're getting close, but they're not done. And this cucumber, I wonder how many times I've shown just cucumbers on it. It's just been the most productive cucumber I've ever had. Look at it, monster. I'm gonna have to save seed from it, and I'll produce more up there. So this one's definitely gonna be one I'm gonna have to save seed from. It came up on its own. It's been so productive and so healthy. Vined out across this tree, this pear tree, along with the green beans. So let me take you now to the front, show you some of the annuals that are doing real well. Some of the new ace peppers and some of the flavor bursts that we're getting some good production out of. As I walk through, I wanted to just take you through kind of what it's like as I'm walking through here. And more ground cherries and more strawberries producing. We got strawberries in the side garden where we're getting a lot of strawberries. And these peppers are getting so close to ripening here. Soon they'll be blushing out, turning orange. That one's already going here. The top one, if you could see it. And the Rosita eggplant, so beautiful. Getting bigger, looking real healthy. And the new ace peppers, loaded and reddening, getting red, looking good. Over here on the side garden is where all the ever-bearing strawberries are. These ones are delicious. This is the second crop of them. We've got a bunch of them in the spring and then some scattered throughout the summer, but then now, this is the second. So good. Strawberries are one of my favorite. So we get berries all year. We go from strawberries to blueberries and black cap raspberries and blackberries and yellow raspberries and red raspberries and all the berries between, with gooseberries and everything. So you can be, if you're in a climate like me, you can grow berries all year, all season, be eating all different kinds. It's so delicious. Berries are one of my favorite too. This pink tongue long eggplant, doing real well. It's a nice looking one on there. Always have good luck with this one. Love that variety. A lot of tomatoes over here are still doing well. I need to come and tie them up a little bit better, some of them. But I'll do that. And this is the best looking apple tree we have, the Stamen wine sap. Does the best for us. Got a couple apples on there, so we're getting some out of that. The black cap raspberries over here are just, they want to take over, so I'm gonna have to come through, make a trellis. I'll do that. And some of the morning glories are growing back there. Those are beautiful flowers, but they'll just strangle everything out. And the elderberries, got some of the berries ripe there, and that one's just getting ready to ripen up. So it'd be fun to get an elderberry harvest this year. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to be part of this movement of growing your own food, of being proud of the food you're producing, knowing it's healthy, knowing it's natural, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.